What do you do when you're triggered? And more importantly, is it working for you? When someone does or says something that offends you or irritates you or bothers you, it tends to work up our nervous system. And when our nervous system is kicked in, we tend to respond unconsciously in just a few ways: fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Those things are predictable, normal, because they are biological. They're unconscious. We don't have a lot of control over them. So while we're capable of doing all those things because we're human, we tend to default and overuse one more than the others. My tendency is to fight. And while I don't get in physical fights, that means that I may argue or attack when I feel triggered. But what do? Do you run away? Do you avoid? Do you try to make the other person feel better? Do you just freeze up entirely? What does it look like for you? And once you know what your default is, what you use more than the others, then it's time to think about, is it working for you? Because if you're a fighter like me, you might walk around feeling like, yeah, I don't let anybody say shit to me. Nobody gets to mess with me. But is it giving you the outcomes you hope for? And this is worth thinking about, not just because of how it affects you in your life, but it also affects the world. Because if we just fall into our default unconscious reaction when we feel stressed, how are we supposed to have hard but necessary conversations? Part 2 tomorrow.